preparing for winter. The first rays of the sun had spread over the forest like a soft blanket. Light filtering through the branches wandered among the leaves of the trees, polishing the dewdrops on the flowers that were just waking up. Curious peacock Toby slowly opened his magnificent tail to say hello to this beautiful autumn day. His feathers shimmered in blue, green, and golden yellow colors under the morning sun. Toby always loved taking a morning walk in the forest and watching nature wake up. That morning, there was a different rush and activity in the forest than usual. Even the melody of the wind in the leaves seemed a bit faster and more excited. When Toby approached the roots of a large and old sycamore tree, he noticed a long, dark line moving on the ground. Looking a bit more carefully, he realized these were hundreds of small ants walking in a line. The ants were moving into the depths of the forest without stopping, and with great discipline. The loads these little friends carried on their backs were much larger than their own height. Some carried a yellowed sycamore leaf, some a dried acorn, and others tiny twigs. Toby watched their rhythmic and unbroken order with admiration. The very faint patter-patter sounds their feet made sounded like peaceful music in the silence of the forest. Toby leaned down gently toward the line of ants to learn the reason for this feverish work. At the very front, he saw Andy, who was directing the others and carrying a large leaf with reddish hues on his back. Toby asked in a soft and curious tone, "Good morning, Andy. How busy you all are today. Where are you carrying these beautiful leaves like this?" And Andy answered breathlessly but proudly, without dropping his load for even a moment. "Good morning, Toby. The winter season is approaching, and the winds have started to blow a bit cold. Our nest isn't as warm in the evenings as it used to be. We are carrying these leaves to line the walls of our nest. They will protect us from the cold and help keep our food fresh," he said. Toby thought about how those tiny leaves could warm a huge nest. Just then, a slight rustle was heard from the tree branches. The forest's most wise and graceful creature, leopard Caesar, glided down with the silence of a big cat. Her spotted fur was in perfect harmony with the tree shadows. Caesar began to speak with a calm and reassuring voice. "Nature always finds a way to protect itself, Toby. This preparation the ants are doing is actually like a warm blanket the forest weaves for itself." Toby was very impressed by Caesar's words and listened to her with eyes wide open. Caesar explained at length that fallen leaves were not just waste, but how they covered the soil and kept the life underneath warm. "Preparing is not just gathering food," said Caesar. "It is also creating the warmth that will keep your loved ones and your home safe." These words sparked a wonderful idea in Toby's mind. He wanted to be a part of this preparation too and help his friends. "I should be able to do something too," he thought. He remembered his soft, colorful feathers that had shed throughout the summer and that he had accumulated in his nest. His own feathers had a feature that was much softer and warmer than leaves. Taking action immediately, Toby went to his nest and took his old, soft feathers. He tied them all together with grass with great care. Now his old feathers looked like a colorful pile of cotton. Toby gently placed this soft gift at the entrance of the ant nest. Andy and the other ants were very happy with this unexpected gift. When the protection of the leaves combined with the softness of the feathers, their nest would become more comfortable than ever. The ants carried the feathers with great joy to the deepest rooms of the nest, to the sections where the babies slept. As days passed, the weather slowly cooled, and the sun began to show its face less. The sky left its bright blueness to grey, heavy clouds. The wind was no longer a warm breeze, but a cool breath that whistled. However, everyone in the forest was calm, because the squirrels' stalls were full, the rabbits' burrows were repaired, and the ants' home had become toasty warm. Finally, the expected day arrived, and the first snowflakes began to glide down from the sky. Snowflakes landed silently and gently on the trees, stones, and soil. The forest took on a deep silence. Despite the freezing cold outside, life under the soil was safe and warm, just as Ziza had said. The ants were resting peacefully in their nest covered with leaves and Toby's feathers. One morning, Toby went for a walk in the forest covered with a pure white blanket. That colourful forest was gone, replaced by a white world shining like crystal. He smiled as he looked at the tracks he left in the snow while walking. Ahead, he saw leopard Ziza sitting on a rock, watching the falling snow. Ziza's fur looked even brighter in the pale light of winter. "Hello, Ziza. The forest is so quiet today, isn't it?" called out Toby. Ziza turned her head slowly and smiled in a friendly way. "Yes, Toby. This silence is the forest's sleep. It will rest and gather strength until spring. Thanks to your help, even our smallest friends are spending this sleep in their warm beds," she said. Toby sat beside Ziza, and together they watched the snow falling in large flakes. He felt an indescribable peace and happiness inside. He had ceased to be just a bird boasting about his bright feathers, and had become a part of the forest. The feeling of safety given by helping and preparing warmed him beautifully inside, even in the cold of winter. That night, when Toby lay down in his own sheltered nest, he knew that thousands of tiny hearts in the depths of the forest were beating in peace. As he closed his eyes, the sound of the wind came to him like a lullaby. Dreaming of the flowers that would wake up when spring came, the ants that would start working again, and the sunny days, he fell into a deep and sweet sleep.